Welcome to Sussex Farm for the first episode in my new Let's Play. This one's a slight bit different to a first episode you might watch. Hope you enjoy it. Come along with me, MrSealyp. So this is where it all begins. This is a little bit different. This is episode 1 of my new Let's Play. My 40k Let's Play. I'm going to be doing Sussex Farm as my new Let's Play. Now I've been running 2 Let's Plays for quite a long time. I normally do one which is kind of role play, narrative, storyline, sometimes subscriber contracts. The other one, generally speaking, I'll do for me. It's just playing, enjoying, not that I don't enjoy the other one, but you know what I mean, and just doing stuff because I want to. No other particular reason than that. I just hit 40,000 subscribers and I am absolutely just gobsmacked, blown away by everything that's happened in the last 4 and a bit years. It's incredible. So I want to thank everybody, whether you're my first subscriber, Sanders fan, I hope you're still out there and I hope you're still watching, my first ever subscriber other than a family member, up to my very last subscriber, whoever the last person was that just subscribed to my channel. I can't thank you all enough for the support, for the encouragement, for the kind words, the comments, and I've done some amazing things that I never ever thought I would do. I've been to places I never ever thought I would go. With the stuff I've been doing recently with Giant Software in the Farming Simulator League, travelling around Europe and commentating on an esport, those kind of things. It's so bonkers crazy, but absolutely fantastic. And that's down to you guys. That's down to everybody out there that watches what I do. What I do want to do, one, I want to thank Jim, Alien Jim, because I'm going to start on Sussex Farm now. I did a Let's Play on this in FS17. Jim's been a very good friend to me and he's been very, very kind right from the very first time he sent me a picture of Sussex Farm on FS17 when he very, very, very first started map making. And the guy's amazing and I can't thank him enough. So awesome. And my wife, obviously, who's my biggest supporter and helper and fan, and she's an amazing woman. Now, I'm going to get onto it. Don't worry, don't panic. I do want to give a shout out to Murray. Murray, your girlfriend Wendy, messaged me. I was a postman for 17 years, mate. I know what it's like. I really, really do. Christmas pressure, all the stuff building up. Murray is a postman in the north of Scotland. And you know what? Keep doing what you do, mate. All the best to you. Have a great Christmas. Take care of yourself. Thank you for getting in touch, Wendy. It's very kind of you. So, what I'm going to do on this episode is kind of how I set up a Let's Play. And this is where it all starts. It will start on my mod screen. Now, obviously, that's the latest mods. If I go across and then go to this one, this is my installed mods. Now, a lot of people ask, how do you manage to have all the mods installed? I don't. I never have all the mods installed. I will tweak the mods as new mods come out, as mods that I've installed I don't use, so I'll take them out. There'll be new ones that come out that will replace other ones. So I will constantly go through all my mods, tweak it, take things in, out, move them around. That's just the way it is. I don't have all the maps installed. I only install the maps I'm playing on at the time, and then my test map, whatever my test map may be as well. So this is kind of where it all starts. If there are any mods I particularly want to use on a Let's Play, I will go in and make sure I've got them. It's no problem to come in and out between episodes and grab whatever I need, but that's generally speaking what I do. Then we come up and we start our career. Now, obviously, it's going to be a new save game. Now, I don't have, and people always ask me as well, do I have all of my previous Let's Plays all saved? I don't. I keep them for a while. The problem is on console we've only got 10 slots for save games. Now that's fair enough, I could have 10 Let's Plays saved on there, but generally speaking I'll keep a Let's Play on here for a while. If I don't go back to it, because sometimes I'll go back to a map, I'll do a visit, an episode where I might visit another one. If after a while I don't, I delete it. And it seems, but the first time I did it was quite scary, because you've got a lot of hours in and that kind of thing, and then you start to panic a little bit. But that's how I personally do it. It's not necessarily the best way, it's just the way it is. So, next step is, what do I pick? That all depends on where I want to go, and I have to think about my Let's Play and think, right, where do I want to go with it? What's my plan? What's my objective? I will often start a new farmer, because you start with equipment and things like that. I have done on Ravenport when I very first started playing FS19. I did start from scratch, and that was incredible. incredibly hard, because at that point you didn't have the economy settings. You didn't have the various different economies. It was these were the three options. That has changed things a little bit. For this Sussex Farms one, I'm going to start on Farm Manager, simply because I don't necessarily want all the start machinery, I don't necessarily want all the start things, but I need a bit of money to set up what I'm doing. And I'll kind of run through the steps of what I do, how I do it, you know. Whether that interests people or not, I don't know, but it's how I'm going to be getting going. Is this truly an episode 1? Maybe, maybe not, but I thought it might be something a little bit different to watch. So, Farm Manager, Sussex Farms. We will click continue. That's my character and has been since I started on FS19. MrSealyp green shirt, of course. And then when we get onto here, I don't often, whatever mods I've got installed are the mods I'll run with. I don't often go through and deselect mods. Sometimes I might, but not very often. I mean, there are a few on here that I haven't used for quite a while. To be fair, the Big Bud I haven't used for quite a while, so I may just free up a bit of space in my memory, that kind of thing. But I'll go through, and then it will often be something I'll think, oh, I want to use so and so, and then realise I have actually uninstalled it. So I'll just come out, reinstall it, and just come back in again. That's, you know, those kind of things. It's not too much of a problem. So I'm going to stick with all the mods I've got installed at the moment. That's not too much of a problem, and we'll go with start. Okay, so we're going to hit start. Let me start the main farm here. There's no doormat, there's nothing like that. If we check on our map and click on this, we don't own anything at all, but we do have 1.25 million because I started on Farm Manager, which is fine. Now, on any given map, there's a difference, I suppose, between starting a Let's Play for you, just you're going to play, do whatever you want to do, and starting a Let's Play for videos, for YouTube, for an audience to watch. Because you kind of have to, I know sometimes when you watch my videos it all seems a little bit haphazard, and sometimes it is, and I've often said this on my Let's Plays, it doesn't always go to plan. You might start an episode thinking, right, what I want to achieve, this and this, and it will go off on a complete tangent. Other times you'll start, it will go exactly to plan, and you'll fly through an episode no problem at all. You kind of want an idea of where you want to go with it, and your start point as well, when you've done quite a few Let's Plays and you've been playing on 15, 17, 19, you want to try and do things a little bit differently. Now, you're never going to please everybody, and that's one of the big things. You just have to say to yourself, you know what, I'm doing this, I'm going to do it because I want to do it. If people want to watch it, if people enjoy it, that's fantastic. The problem is if you start second guessing yourself, and this is, I've had loads of people ask me, how do you set up a Let's Play, how do you do your videos, how do you make, this isn't how I necessarily make the video, but this is kind of an insight into kind of what goes through my thought process. At the end of the day, you will never please everybody, and some people will watch your Let's Plays, love every minute of them. Some people will despise it right from the start because of how you start. The first episode, I won't say it will make or break a series, but it's the one that people kind of gauge, do I really want to watch this? So at the end of the day, just do what you want to do, enjoy what you do, otherwise you're not going to have fun doing it, and that won't come across in your videos either. So what I've decided I want to have is, that's a problem. I want to have the workshop space, but I didn't really want to buy the entire farm to start off with. There's not really a lot I can do with that. We'll just have to go with it. Right, so I'm going to buy that off the bat, and because I'm starting on Farm Manager and not New Farmer, the biogas plant won't have been bought yet. That's only 20 grand. So if you don't start on New Farmer and you need to buy it, Jim's done us a solid on that one. So those are the two things I definitely want to start off with. And that's it, because that's where I want to go. I want to do an expansion, I want to do a build the farm up, I want to do a kind of, sometimes you do a Let's Play where you bring everything in with you. You might bring 5 million with you from your previous map and do one of those big spending sprees and, you know, entitle it spending 5 million on equipment. You know, well, 10 or 3 or whatever it might be. And I've been there and I've done that, and I've done different things. I've done Let's Plays where you start from scratch and build up, and it's kind of working out the best way of doing it. So that's the bit I want. The bit I actually want is just kind of the workshop bit there. So we'll kind of work up to that. Now here's the next thing, is then going to be vehicles and machinery. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to the workshop and I'm going to put down the doormat. And if you haven't watched my Sussex Farms first looks, I would always suggest go and watch, you know, previous videos, anything on it already. Because what Jim's done is, rather than give us a house placeable, it's a doormat, and the doormat you can put anywhere. So your kind of sleep through night thing can be done from anywhere with the doormat. Now I'm hoping I'm going to be able to put it down here. Fingers crossed I will. So what I'm aiming to do as well with this Let's Play is kind of, I mean, I try and do it with every one I do, is showcase, there we go, 100. Let's zoom right in. I kind of want to put it over by the door if that's possible. If it will let me. Oh, that's weird. Oh, the fence is in the way, isn't it? That's why. There we go. Let's swing it round. Because it's so small, you can put it, look, that's perfect. And that's your sleep through night trigger. Boom, done. So that's my first bit done. Sorry. I've lost my thread. What was I saying? It's gone completely. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so it'll probably come back to me. It may come back to me. Showcasing the map. That's what I was talking about. I knew it'd come back to me. I want to showcase all the points on the map. And again, this is one of those, like, you're in a dilemma. Not everyone's going to like it. Not everyone likes Jim's maps. Not everyone likes all the stuff that Jim gives you. I love the fact Jim gives you options to do as much or as little as you want. Now, as I said on my first looks, you can come onto this map and you can just play it as a farming map, have a farm, do your animals, buy your fields, do all the farming that you normally do. But Jim's included so much other stuff on this map that you can do a whole host of things on it. And I want to showcase as many of those things as possible during the Let's Play. What I also try to do during my Let's Plays is, as new mods come out, try and get as many of those new mods into a Let's Play as possible. That's not always easy to do, it's not always possible. Sometimes it's difficult to kind of almost lever them in, you know, other than leasing or getting trial vehicles, or you haven't always got the money available to just say, right, I'm going to go and buy this. Actually, I've just realised what I need to do. Before I forget, let's go into here. I always do this. I turn autosave off. I don't like that, having it on. Weeds I turn off. I just find them a frustration at the moment. I still, whether it's just me, put it on real time for the time being. I have automatic engine start off. And someone asked me the other day about my dynamic vehicle camera. I have dynamic vehicle camera off, and that gives you that kind of motion, that bounce. I prefer that. I just find in cab that's a little bit more immersive. That's just personally for me. So the thing about the problem I've got at the moment, I say a problem, it's not a massive problem, but I am sat in a barn. It's a converted barn. I'm on holiday with my wife for a few days up in the Lake District. I did the first at map tours. We came away for a few days. I've done a couple of mod reviews. I really desperately wanted to start my Let's Play. And so I thought, you know what, this is an interesting, well, I think it's interesting, but you might not, way of kind of looking into how it all begins. I apologise if it sounds a little bit echoey. What I also don't have is my Satex side panel. I have a PC Satex side panel plugged into my PS4 when I'm at home. I sometimes use my steering wheel and pedals, not always, but I can just use a controller and a Satex side panel. I'm so used to going into all my options and all the various different things using the side panel. Without it, it suddenly feels very peculiar. I've just kind of got used to having it. So anyway, yeah, we're going to showcase off stuff, mods, the map, all those kind of things. What I am going to do in a couple of minutes, I'm going to message Jim, because Jim asked me to message him when I started recording my Let's Play, because there's something he's going to message me that he wants me to look for or find, and he wants to hear my reaction on the video. I'm not, he said it's not a bad thing. I'm not quite sure what it is. I have absolutely no idea. Something I was going to point out as well, some of the comments were, the map's looking fantastic and all the, Alien Jim's a wizard and an alien, and how does he do what he does. But some people comment to say the roads just don't look quite right. They're a little bit, somebody said they look like they're just freshly tarmacked, and they do. They look like a brand new road, freshly tarmacked. I know, talking to Jim about this before, when he does all the mod map making on PC, the textures on the roads look completely different. and often in that conversion over to console, sometimes that gets lost. I mean, there is texture and detail. You've got the darker ridges where vehicles go and stuff, but you do lose a little bit of that sometimes. That's just unfortunately again the conversion over from console, from PC to console. What I'm going to do is head up to the store because we need to buy a few bits of equipment. And again, this is kind of where you're going to get an idea of where it may lead, may not lead. I don't want to give too much away. I'll see you up there in a moment. Okay, I'm up at the main store and I'm going to buy a few bits of equipment. Now, what's going to be different about this Let's Play is I'm not starting with farming equipment. I'm going to do a kind of start from scratch-ish. I'm not going to be starting with 693,000, that's not a problem. And I'm not going to go mad and buy tons of equipment. I'm going to build up to it. And in doing that, I will be able to show off a load of the stuff that Jim has. So, what I will do is, let's go in. First thing I want to do is buy a truck. Now, this will often be, I kind of have an idea in my head, but I'm not always 100% certain where I want to go. I do want to have one of the Lizard Warriors. It's 39 slots, is quite high, but there's plenty of slots available on Jim's map, so I haven't got to worry. And I am going to go rim colour. I think I'm going to go probably chrome. I don't know why. I'm going to go with a MrSealyp green, but I do like the satin finish on these. I'm going to go with the satin, and then I think design colour. I think I'm going to go chrome as well on that, so it's all a little bit chromy. What I am going to do though is semi-short. I'm going to go back one. Bear with me a minute. Right, so all my options are done now. I'm going for the Lizard Warrior with the faster lift because I want to be able to pick up transport contracts and I want to do it a little bit differently. I want to use this and I want to have a truck. So the kind of theory behind this being that when I start off, right, we'll buy that, is I'm going to start off as a kind of local haulage guy, basically doing jobs, haulage jobs. Bits and bobs here and there. But I want to get into farming. I want to start a farm. I want to get away from the haulage as my main business, my main income. I want to relax a little bit. I want to become a farmer. And that's kind of where I want to go with it. So I'll have the option to do some of the haulage stuff. I'm not going to do it like I did on Washoe, where I'm doing fuel and water runs every single day. I will probably only do a fuel run once every 4 in-game days, maybe 5 in-game days. I will be delivering some of the other bits and bobs around the map, but I'm not going to be building up my money by doing fuel runs every single morning. I know not everyone likes that. It's an option available and I want to showcase that on the map, but I'm not going to be doing it all the time. So it's kind of also when I'm doing my Let's Plays, it's thinking about how do you change things based upon feedback as well. You need to look at your feedback, look at what people have said, how they feel about stuff. Sometimes you think, you know what, I'm still going to do it my way because that's how I want to do it. Other times you look at feedback and think, you know what, yeah, I think I probably might need to alter this and change it a little bit, tweak it a little bit. You can't, obviously, I want to get the faster lift that goes with this as well. You can't respond to every bit of feedback you get because some of the feedback you get, and it's no disrespect to anybody that leaves feedback or comments, it either, not that it doesn't make sense, but everyone has their own view and opinion of how to do things, and sometimes you might read that view and opinion and think, okay, fair enough, but that's not for me. I don't want to go down that route. I've had people telling me how I should do my videos, how I should make them better, how I should record, how I should edit, how, you know, at the end of the day, this is kind of me. This is how I do it. It's always been right from the word go. It's just me doing what I do, learning as I go, responding to feedback, adjusting as I need to, and just trying to enjoy playing it. The problem is if you kind of get bogged down trying to please everybody, the fun goes. You kind of lose that. Right, so that's the first bit of equipment. So the next couple of pieces of equipment. Go through into Miscellaneous. And I said on the first at map tours, if you haven't watched those, you won't necessarily know this, but Jim adds in on his maps various different mods that he puts in himself just on his maps. So I'm going to go with the MKU 32, and if you look at the bottom there, it says it will do your water and herbicide and fuel. It will do def. It'll do slurry and everything, but it'll do air as well now, which is one that Jim's added on here. So I'm going to get one of those. I'm going to have it as standard. And what I'm also going to do is, I think I've got it installed, but I've suddenly had a panic and thought I might not. It was a flatbed trailer, but I think it might be under baling technology. I bet I haven't got it. I have to go back in and install it. No, I didn't. I took it off because I want something to be able to do transport jobs. Now, at the end of the day, I could use something else because this does have a trailer hitch, so I could kind of get away with. But I'd rather have it because it's kind of trucking. That was kind of the theory of this. So I'm probably have to come out, find it. Oh, this is what I was talking about before. Now, something else I want to add in is that. So I've got the tanker, got that, and I'm going to have a flatbed trailer, and that's all I'm going to start with. It makes it a little bit more challenging, but that's the whole point. It kind of gives you something to aim for. We're going to build up to buying our first tractor. We're going to get some land. What I might do is even simulate buying the farm. I know I've already bought it because I wanted the workshop space, but what I can do as part of the storyline is build up a bit of money and then technically buy it again, and I'll explain kind of when and how I do that. As far as money goes, and people ask me this as well, when FS19 came out, and we had no mod on console for adding in money. If you wanted to add in money, which is a YouTuber's, it's his bread and butter. If you need to be buying things, simulating doing certain things, you need to be able to put money in, take money out as you need to follow a storyline or a let's play or subscriber contracts. And there was those videos that went round, and people messaged me and said, you've got to do a video on this, we've heard of so and so and so and so. And it was where you could use the multiplayer setup to add in money on the farms, come back out of multiplayer, play it as single player, and all the money would be there. So you could build up your money like that. However, we do have, and I don't know if a lot of people know about this, because I still have loads of people messaging me, thanking me for putting up the other video. Loads of people did the other video, and saying, I can't believe this works, it's fantastic. But what we do have, and have a look in the mod hub, because it's still there, are these, the government subsidy mods. The government subsidy mod on normal, which I'm playing on normal economy, gives you 100,000 per hour per sign that you place. It doesn't cost anything to place them either, 0. So I'll show you what I mean. Right here down at our workshop, I can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As long as you own the land, you can place them. So if I've placed 5, when that goes over to the next hour, that will give me 500,000. If I place 1, 100,000, 10, a million. So you can use the government subsidy mods to add in money into the game. You don't need to do the multiplayer cheat. So if you weren't aware of these, and they're kind of the bread and butter of how you get things in and out if you need to. Now, I never cheat money in. I won't suddenly say in another episode, I've got £1 million. Where from? You've got to be able to justify where that's come from. If you're playing for yourself at home and you decide, you know what, I want to start a map, I want to buy everything I want and just enjoy playing, then use them. Absolutely use them. Generally speaking, once you've used them, you just delete them. You just come back out again. So what I'll do is come back out, go into garage. I want to take those back off because I don't actually want to have them in there. What you can do is go to each one, like so, or you can come back out the menu and do them one at a time from the menu. It depends how you want to go about it, but I'm going to take those out because I don't want to add any more money at the moment, because what I'm intending to do is start with 100,000. That's all I'm going to start with. I know I started on Farm Manager, but it gives you 1.25 million, but that was to buy a bit of land, buy the bits of equipment I needed. Sometimes you use all that money, sometimes you don't. It kind of all depends how that all works out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out, I'm going to grab that other trailer, that'll be my start stuff, I'll take it down to where I'm going to go, then what I'll do is I'll show you how I kind of get back down to the 100,000 where I'm going to start from. I need to change my currency to pounds. Now this is the other thing when you're running multiple Let's Plays on FS19, whatever you set it on, when you go onto your next map, the setting stays the same. It doesn't remember for each individual save game. So if I now go on to Geiselsberg, it'll be on euros. If I come back onto here and set this on pounds, when I go back onto Geiselsberg, it'll be on pounds again. And often you get caught if you're doing an American map and an English map, and it will be saying dollars when it should be pounds, or pounds when it's dollars, and and those kind of things don't seem that important, doesn't seem to matter. But you'd be surprised how many people get quite annoyed about that, and will actually comment on your video to say, the money's wrong, you need to change this over, it should be that always surprises me. I never thought that'd be something people would be that bothered about, but it really does kind of, it annoys people. And I get it, if you're American and your person's running an American map and you're proud of your country, you're proud of your currency, I suppose, and you want to see that reflected in the gameplay, I totally understand that. So that's something, again, you just have to kind of keep an eye on, really. So bear with me 1 minute. Okay, I've been out, I've come back in again. I'm not sure how well this is going to work, and it should, but I've gone with the Flegel. We'll see in a second. There were so many I just looked at in the mod hub. Right, so, and this is the thing, you've got, this is what I went for. You've got one for square bales, one for big bales. This is the Flegel semi-trailer. My concern is sometimes if you try and load stuff onto an auto-load trailer, it doesn't always like it. It's a bit of a gamble. And what do I go with? Because realistically I just want to use it for transport. There is a lowboy one which I could have gone with that, which I'm now thinking maybe I should. And this again is a lot of, when you're doing a let's play, especially when you're trying to do videos, it's a lot of trial and error. You might do something, picking it with all the best intentions, thinking this is going to work fantastic. You try and use it and it doesn't. If you're playing at home on your own, it's no big deal, it doesn't matter. You just try something, oh that didn't work, bang, get rid of it, get another one, and off you go. And it can, it's very easy to second guess a person's decision when you're sitting watching a video, or if you're at home and you've just played the game, you might have changed vehicles 15 times because you decided it wasn't what you wanted, it was something different. You can't always do that on a let's play. I'm going to go with the round bale one. I think I'm probably going to leave it pretty much standard. I don't really want to change anything too much. Rim colour, stainless steel silver, chrome steel, maybe. I suppose chrome steel would match my truck. I could change the bed maybe. Oh, I don't know if that looks a little bit Fendt Classic. Yeah, that might match the lorry a little bit better, mightn't it? Then design colour will be the bed, won't it, I think. But do I really want to be changing that? Galvanised steel maybe? Yeah, I like that a little bit better maybe. So, decals, we're going to leave those black, white I think. Hang on, that says decal, okay. Auto load, right, yes or no? I'm going to turn it off at the moment because I don't want it as an auto load, but I can come back at some point and make it an auto load, so that should solve many problems. Attaches, yes, I want a trailer hitch on the back because that will give me more options too. Tyres, Lizard, Trelleborg, Michelin's. I think I'm going to go for Trelleborgs. Yeah, why not? And we'll buy that. So that's my starting equipment. That's it. That's what I'm going with. Now, if you're going to be doing a let's play, a storyline, narrative, it might be that you're going to start with animals. It might be you're going to be coming as a farmhand or a worker to an already established farm. The setup procedure is going to be a lot more complicated, a lot more to add in, a lot more time consuming, and that will involve a lot more fiddling around with finances to try and get all the stuff you want in. People often ask me, when I move from one to another, how do you transfer your money? How do you transfer your equipment? You don't. You basically just put the money in. I use the, like I say, the government subsidy mods, and then you just rebuy everything you had on your previous one. It means making lists of what you had, what you ended with, what you're moving over. But that realistically on console is the only way of doing it. Now apparently you can fold this. There we go, and I didn't do that before. So that's folded. I'm going to take down, it doesn't really matter which one I take down. So then you want to get all your equipment into its start position. Where do you want it to be at the start of the let's play? So episode 2 realistically is going to be the episode where we kind of start getting on with stuff. I didn't want to just put this down as a separate thing. Something I will point out as well while we're here. A lot of people have commented saying they're having problems with this barrier and the barrier at the sawmill. That some vehicles won't register. Some of the telehandlers, it doesn't register them as they approach and it won't open. Plus, if you're running multiple trailers, some people have been running A doubles, B doubles, daisy chains, all sorts of selections of trailers. They can get through with a main vehicle and a trailer, then the barrier comes back down again. So I might need to have a word with Jim about that. I'm sure he probably already knows, because people will comment and, you know, and kind of let him know. So take that through. We'll take it down to the workshop where we're going to start off. So realistically on this one, it's a fairly straightforward, fairly easy setup process. I didn't want to make life too difficult for myself. Didn't want to, you know, and I wanted to make sure it was one where I build things up. I think much as there is a lot of excitement about, I know me personally, like going on a spending spree when you've got a ton of money and you think you just go and buy whatever you want from the store, that's fantastic. But I know people do enjoy that kind of, they want to see the progression, they want to see how you build your farm up, what equipment do you use, how do you go about making money, you know, people enjoy that process too. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts, how you really want to go about it. I'm sorry if I'm waffling on a little bit, I just wanted to kind of show people what kind of goes into it, you know, that's where you start out. So often when you watch episode 1 of a Let's Play, there's been a lot that's gone on behind the scenes before that's even been recorded, you know. So I think I'll probably park these outside. There are going to be a few things that I'm going to highlight and showcase that you, if you haven't watched the first looks I did and the one where I did the corrections for mistakes I made, you're going to probably find out a few things you maybe didn't know. There's one thing I'm going to be able to show you, which I'm going to show you, not in this episode, but in episode 2, the start of the Let's Play proper. I think we'll put it just here for the moment. And we'll go back up and get the other one, which hopefully will kind of give you a, you know, you suddenly think, oh, that's fantastic, I didn't know that, or I can do this. That's kind of the point, isn't it? I always kind of set myself, again, people ask what's the kind of, not secret, there's not really a secret to Let's Plays, there's not really a secret to doing well on YouTube. It's a case of just doing it, just playing it, doing it, enjoying it. There's no quick fix, there's no easy way around it, there's no magic click of the fingers that will get you thousands of subscribers. It's just, like I say, it's taken me four and a bit years, I think, maybe a little bit longer than that, to get to where I am now. Some people's channels rocket very, very quickly. Some people's are a slow burn and take a lot longer. Mine took quite a while, and then once FS19 came out, I kind of had a bit of a spurt and it jumped up a little bit. There is no rhyme or reason, and sometimes there's just a big element of luck. You know, I don't know what it is. You know, and your channel will often go through peaks and troughs. You'll go through times when you're getting fantastic views and you're really happy and everything's going great, and you'll go through troughs where views just plummet, and then you can't kind of work out why it does. You don't really know why all of a sudden. Sometimes that's to do with YouTube. They have an algorithm that will push your videos further up search lists and things like that, and sometimes that works in your favour, sometimes it doesn't. That is the one thing. Another thing that people have mentioned, the traffic on here is a bit mad. And you have to kind of be careful a little bit, because they just whip round. Yeah, so unfortunately, like I say, there's no kind of, I don't know, there's no key to success, I suppose, is the best way of putting it. Sometimes it just is what it is. It works or it doesn't. Now, I know this is an American truck, and I know it's not kind of very English. I know we're on Sussex farm, and it's just one I wanted to use. I have seen plenty of American looking trucks around the UK. There are a lot of avid haulage companies and truck drivers that love them and get them all painted up. I was going to get a man as well, and I may well do at some point, so I can have this one for the loading and one for hauling. But again, I'm not too sure, but this is going to be our start-off vehicle. And we will grow from here. Now, I do have a little bit of shock news. This is going to annoy some people. I know it is. I don't even know if I should say it or not. But I have capitulated. I have ordered a PC. Now, that is not going to mean anything will change on my Let's Plays. Hopefully, it's not going to change anything I do on my Let's Plays. I'm still going to be doing console Let's Plays. Absolutely I am, because I'm a PS4 gamer, always have been. But it became very apparent recently that for my channel to go any further from where I am now, I need to improve the quality of my editing, I need to improve the quality of my thumbnail production. There's a whole load of stuff that goes into the background. Very good friend of mine, MrSealyp JD, who's a YouTuber, he does Call of Duty Zombies predominantly. He's done some Fortnite stuff, and he is my eldest daughter's boyfriend. Has come over, given me a load of advice. He sat down with me a few weeks ago and we went through my channel analytics, which I've never done before. I've never looked at my analytics. It's not something that's ever bothered me. I just, like I said, I just play the game, do what I do. And there was a whole load of things in there that suddenly became really stark and obvious and apparent, and I suddenly thought, wow, I didn't know any of this stuff. I didn't know that I should be or could be doing, you know, all of these things. So the PC is going to be for editing, it's going to be for thumbnails, it's going to be for a few bits and bobs. I'm getting it also for Farming Simulator League, because I'm part of the Farming Simulator League now. There's a lot of stuff I can't do at the moment with the Farming Simulator League. Am I going to do any Let's Plays on PC? Potentially. That's not my plan at the moment, but I'm not going to say now I'm not doing any, because if I do in the future then people say, well, you lied. I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I have no plans to at the moment, but if I do any PC Let's Plays, I will still be doing console Let's Plays. I'm not jumping ship. I'm not leaving console and saying, right, I'm just doing PC stuff. At the moment, it's just going to be a tool. It's a tool to use for my channel. And I think the thing about this as well is setting up this Let's Play and talking out loud about it. I think even in my own head, you start to realise that it's kind of a bit more serious. I mean, that's one thing I thought when MrSealyp JD came over and helped me and talked about my analytics and stuff. You stop and suddenly think, wow, there's a lot more to all of this, and there's a lot more seriousness to YouTubing and being a YouTube creator than I'd kind of really bothered with. I just kind of play. I just play, I video, I talk, I do what I do, and hadn't really gone into any depth on the rest of it. But I have been approached by quite a few different people since I've been involved with the Farming Simulator League and Giant Software, asking me, can they send me things? Can I have a test play of something? Can I try this out? A lot of the Farming Simulator League teams, like Krona and Lintner and Grimmer, and have said, would I be able to come on TeamSpeak? Could I come on and play maybe with them a few times when they're training? And at the moment, I can't do any of that. So it is kind of a, you know, it's going to become a tool to use, I think, is probably the best way of putting it. So what I'm going to do now to round this off, and this is going to be my start point. When I do my next episode, this is where I'm starting from. A lot of people have also commented to say that under their contracts, they've had no transport contracts come up at all. Seems to be a bit hit and miss, because I've got one there straight away. Transport items from sawmill to transport company. The transport jobs do pay very, very well, I have noticed. So I've had some people say they're 3-4 game days in and haven't had a single transport job. Other people saying as soon as they turned it on, they had 2 or 3. They will appear. There are transport jobs available, as you can see. I've got one come up already. So we're going to do some transport jobs. I don't own any farming equipment, so if I do any other contracts for people, it's going to be using their equipment. So I think we're going to kind of reinstate the MrSealyp farming services, farm and forest services for this Let's Play. So I kind of, generally speaking, put up a little different logo on the thumbnail. We're going to be doing a bit of everything, I think, and highlighting what we can do. But what I've got to do now is get my money down to my start point. So what I'm going to do, I am going to actually change on here as well. No, that's the wrong menu, which I still do repeatedly. I'm going to change that to pounds. Then we're going to come out. We are going to go to this menu. Now this is what I do. This is how I balance the books. So if I want to get rid of chunks of money, the best way to do it, to put money in, government subsidy mods. To take money away is lease something. Lease something, give it back. You lease something and give it back, the money goes off your account. So if you're doing a payment for something that's not a payment that's kind of already in game, or you want to buy something, like I said about the farm, when I get to a point where I say, okay, I'm going to kind of simulate buying the farm now, I know technically I already own the land, I will then lease a load of stuff that comes up to the value of whatever that is, and that chunk of money will disappear off my account. So I found the most expensive thing to lease is from the John Deere cotton pack, and it's the harvester. That to lease is 43 grand. So if you want to get rid of big chunks of money, I will lease 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. And what I'll show you, up at the store, we've got 4 sitting there. My money has gone down from 500 and something to 329,000. Now I don't need all of those, but that's fine. I'll go in because I can do a few more. I've got a bit more space, I think. So let's lease, no, wrong one, that one, lease, and it will tell me at some point I've run out of space. Yeah, delivery space is blocked. So what I'll do is come back out, go to garage, go to leased vehicles and return them. That's weird. Why did I lease those? I thought I bought them. Ah, that's a mistake. Oh man, that means I'll go back. I could have sworn I bought them. Is that just habit from doing guide to videos? Right, okay. So that's going to be one of those things as well. Mistakes get made. Right, so I'm going to have to reset that. Get rid of that. How did I manage that? So now, come back out, go to here, buy those, make sure I buy them this time and not lease them. Glad I noticed that before I got my money back to 100,000. How bizarre. And then into front loaders. Apologise. Faster lift, buy. Garage. Owned items. That's better. Those are things I own now. That's all I'm starting with. Truck, flatbed, faster lift, tanker, and a doormat. That's all my worldly possessions. Right, so what I'll do now is go back to there. Now I've got to keep an eye at the top now because that says 141,000. If I lease another one, that's going to take me below the 100,000 I want to start with. So I'll come back out, go to garage, leased items, return both of those. What I've got to do now is find combinations of vehicles that will get me back down to 100,000. So again, probably actually the other one. I think the Case Quad Track is quite expensive to lease if you get the 620, but I'll do it off this one. We'll lease that. This takes another 24 grand off. So what we've got to lose off that? Another 16,000, is that? So we'll come out. Now I know that large tractors generally, forage harvesters can be. That's just 19, 20 something. Might be a bit much. 14. 15. Let's go with that. So we're down to 101,300. So I need to find something for about 1,300. And you know, I'll get as close to 100,000 as I can. Sometimes you get lucky and you get bang on. Other times you don't. Go back to the garage, return those two because I don't want them. That was just a means to an end. And what I'll do now is I'll try and find something. So generally speaking, it's going to be implements now. Something you can lease that's going to be around that price, and it can vary. Things like that, say 300. Oh, 1,200 and something. Okay, not quite. That's too much. So it does become, like I say, a little bit of trial and error, trying to find things, and you will end up doing combinations of really bizarre things just to get it to where you need it to be. Let's try that. So, what do we have left? £100,094. Can I find something for £94? Probably not. This is going to end up then going on to... And this sounds ridiculous and it seems silly, but if you start a Let's Play with a ton of money, people are automatically like, oh, you've already cheated. You've cheated money in. It's not right. You're not doing it properly. So I've always found this is kind of the way to go on it. Leasing one of those, 275. Wow. 40, 30, 71, getting closer. 56, what's that? 86, ooh. And sometimes you will find something that is absolutely spot on for what you need, and it's bizarre how it happens. Oh, what does that say? That's 96, 94. You know what? I'm happy with that. So what we'll do, we'll lease that, and that takes us to 99,997. That is as close to 100,000. And I probably could have had a bit of a search around and found a whole load more stuff, and got it bang on 100,000. But you know what? But that's fine. That's pretty much where I wanted to be. So we'll come back out, go to garage, return both of those. Now obviously what I'm going to have to do now is off screen, come back up, grab these, take them back down to where I started from. Now, do I tab between vehicles during a Let's Play? Absolutely I do. Do I show it on my videos? No, that's just the way I've always preferred to do it. I always kind of simulate walking off to go and do something. So if I got out of this vehicle and I would say I'm going to go and get another piece of equipment, oh, CLG Bakery, I will walk off, then I will tab to another vehicle, then I will simulate walking towards that and I'll edit the two together so it looks like I do. Do I tab? Of course I do. I know I often have people comment and say, you do know you can tab between vehicles. Absolutely I do. It's just something I've always done. I don't know, kind of my USP. And I know it seems ridiculous if you're watching thinking, why is he even bothering? Because you can tab. I don't know. It's just one of those things I've always done. So anyway, that's setting up for this particular Let's Play. I may do another one further down the line if I do one where I'm setting up a farm that's already running and established. That's a little bit more complicated to do. There's a lot more stuff, a lot more involved. So I may well do a video at some point showing that. I don't know, but maybe at some point I will. So episode 2 is going to be the very, very start. This is the setting up. The start of the Let's Play will be episode 2, which will be coming soon. Like I say, I'm on holiday. When I get home, I will endeavour to record as soon as I can, because I want to get this one up and running, because I love this map. I love the changes to it. I love it on 19. It's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, I hope you found this useful and informative. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.